Welcome, everyone. Hello, hello. We're going to let people filter on in. Hope you are all having a lovely Wednesday afternoon. It is bright and sunny here.
It's Wednesday morning, Natalie. You've had too much coffee.
Oh my goodness, I have. Well, it's 10 is 2 hours from the afternoon, so it's close.
I love that we have a lot of people sharing their camera screens. So I was just going to mention we've changed our Wednesday webinar to really be more of a Wednesday classroom. So we're trying to make it interactive. We're allowing you to share your camera. We're allowing you to unmute yourself and chime in or ask a question. So it's a little bit more interactive than it has been. We're hoping that you guys appreciate this.
And we are excited. We're just going to wait probably one more minute to make sure everyone's gotten in, and then I'm going to start. So just so you all are aware, the first session that we're going over today is going to be focusing on Buyside and the different ways that you can reach out from there, share things from there, and get the word out about this tool. And then the next session will be about how we can use the Engage CRM and how we can do the same thing with that. So, November, we're focusing on reaching your sphere because it's a very important time of year to be doing that. And it's 10:02, so I think we are good to get started. All right. Okay, so I am in Buyside, and the first thing that we wanted to go over is sharing your home valuation site. How many of you guys have seen your home valuation site? All right, that's great. So it is, automatically, let me just pull up a website. It is automatically up on your website, just so you guys all are aware. If people are searching you, they can click what's my home worth, and it is going to take them to your site. So already Howard Hanna has this all set up for you, so you don't have to do anything for your personal website for people to be able to get this market report. But if you wanted to push it out more, there's a couple different ways you can do that. Is you can share it on social media, and you can also put it in your email links or signature as a link. So if we go to Marketing Suite and we click Home Valuation Site, we're going to see it right here. And then right at the bottom, it's going to give us some options. So if I click Share on Social Media, I can pull up right here, and I can choose Facebook.
Well, I'm trying to get into this meeting, and
I think you are in. So one thing I wanted to point out is call to actions when you do posts like this. And I think it's really helpful that Buyside just put right down here, calls to action for social media. So if you're not really sure what to say with this post when you post it, feel free to click on that. It popped up right when I clicked share. And it's got some call to actions right here that you could, look at, use. It's got just short ones. What's your home worth? Looking to sell, we have buyers. Discover your home's value. And it's also got a little bit longer ones too, to really, fit with your personality and how you do your social media posts. So of course you can use this kind of as a starting point, pick up the pieces that you like, add that in as you're sharing this. And again, on social media, a little bit of an in-between, like a medium length. It highlights the 3 free estimates that they get just from online. And then we'll go over later sharing your buyers on social media, but they also have posts about this. If you want to post on LinkedIn, if you want to send someone a specific email about it. So really, if you're not sure what you want to say, or where you want to share this from Buyside Help Center is really great tips for you guys to look and see, what comes naturally for you with sharing this. So anyways, when I clicked Facebook, this just popped up right away with a nice image and my site right here. So then I could say whatever I wanted to with it. I can come up here and make sure that I'm sharing it on a page I manage, to share it on my business page. And then I can just share it right here. They do have about 181 different options of how you can share, including email and LinkedIn right here. You can also search. I believe I searched for Instagram and that wasn't available, but you're never gonna know unless you search for it at the moment. So if you're not finding a site that you use, definitely just search and see if it's available here, because that makes it really easy to share right away. And so that is, just how easy it is to share your home valuation page on social media. Any questions with that one? Have you all done that? Gotten some results? No? Okay. So we're going to move on to adding it to your email signature. This is just a great way to kind of just have it almost passively always there when you're emailing people back and forth. And again, putting it with some kind of call to action just gets their curiosity, whether it is about their own home or if they want to check out their neighbor's home or some family member's home. It really can just spark their curiosity with that. So we're going to stay under the marketing suite and under the home valuation site right here. And we're going to move over to email signature. And it gives you two options. So one, you can just literally copy and paste this into your email signature. Everything is all set for you if you like the wording, which is, what's your home worth? Get 3 automated estimates instantly, no cost and no obligation. So if you like that wording, you want it simple, just copy and paste that into your email signature. If you want to be able to, put your own wording in, put your own call to action in, then you can just copy the link right here. And I'm going to open up Outlook. I use Outlook for my Howard Hanna mail right here. And I'm going to go into email signatures and choose mine. And then if I scroll down, I can choose what I want to say. So I can say, do you want to know what your home is worth? I can really put whatever I want. And then if I highlight it right here, I'm going to just click this link button. So really, no matter where we are, that interlocking link symbol is a symbol for the hyperlink. So you always, if you're trying to link something in, you want to be looking for that symbol. If I click that, right down here in the address, I will just paste it and then click OK. And it's going to light up blue to show that it is attached to something. Now, if I wanted to just make sure that I did it right, if I was unsure, I can just re-put in the signature here. It's showing up, but I can just send it to myself. If you guys want to test it, you can send it to yourself. You can send it to me just to say, is this link, are my links working? And then when I get that email, I can click it and make sure that it opens correctly.
Natalie, will you make sure, I'm echoing a little bit. Will you make sure to just show where they can see their leads? So if they do get someone on their leads dashboard, just at one point, just show them where that is on, yeah.
Yep, okay. And so with that, some people have put this image also in their email signature and linked the image instead. If any of you want to do that, you can let me know. but you link an image the same way as you would link, the words. You just click on the image and you click that link button to do that. But to see your leads, we can see right here, it says my leads. And you can click on that. It is from the last 90 days, which I have not been active on here since I don't do business. But your leads will show up under here for you guys to see, who's clicking on it, who's looking, and it's going to show you a varied amount of information. Let me push this.
So while Natalie's getting that together, I just want to point a few things out. Obviously, the whole theme of this month is staying in touch with your sphere. Oh, perfect. You have yours is claimed. So a lot of people are saying, okay, so I'm going to share this on my website, in my social media, in my signature. Well, then what happens after? Someone can check what their home is worth without giving you their information. So it's not much of a lead capture in that sense. But you should be able to tell if you've shared this on your own social media. Hopefully all the people that you're friends with on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever it may be. So you'll see here, if under the owner name, even though they didn't claim that, so where it has Thomas Dogood, he didn't actually put his information in, but Natalie could probably do some reasoning behind this and say, oh, well, you know what, I'm friends with him on Facebook. He probably saw my link, and then send him a message on that social media site. Hey, there was a notice that someone was checking what their home was worth. Are you looking to sell? Or maybe you can even use it to your advantage and say, I think someone might be interested in buying your home. Why don't we talk about, pricing that or getting a meeting together? So even though they don't share their information, doesn't mean you can't move forward with it. You could always, try to reach out and send the whole BMA. But Natalie, I'll let you explain what the claimed one would mean.
Oh, yeah. I mean, basically, when they claim the account, they're saying that they're the owner of this house. And that's why I've given my email right here. When they're going through the home valuation and looking at the, 3 different estimates and whatnot, there's so many opportunities when you go through one of that for them to want to change something or edit something to say, my property is in very good condition. Does that change my estimates? And if they want to do any of that, they have to claim the house. And so they have to put in their information for that, just to get more accurate information there. And so you can see here, I have the emails for these. And so because of that, I can just create this BMA and I could send it to them. It is what they've seen, but just to follow up and say, hey, I saw you were looking at this. It gave you a couple of, just generic estimates based on just what the computer knows. If you're interested, I'd love to stop by and, actually see what you've done with the house or, the updates that you said you did, something like that to get a more accurate valuation for you. So definitely when you're posting it around, when you're sharing it on social media, when you're putting it in your email signature, you want to be looking for those emails that you would get that someone put in an address. And, check out your leads to see what activity you are getting on this and just doing the follow-up with it. So do we have any other questions on this? If you want to see the process, if you've not gotten any leads from this, I would suggest you just go through your site and you just do it, on your own house as a client. So you can kind of just see what communication you as an agent gets. And you can see what people are seeing when they go to this site and just how easy it is for, any questions that they have to be directed to you, that you're the expert, and how it just points that it can be very confusing to try to figure out the value of their house just with what the computer is telling them their house should be worth without actually knowing what they feel like their house is worth. This is their home, and a computer can really go only so far with what it knows about a house.
Now, don't forget to show, you're going to show the buyer then?
Yep, that is next on my list. Do we have any more questions on that?
Guys, in all seriousness, you should just today at some point add this to your signature, put it on social media. As soon as someone checks the value of their home, you'll get an email that they're in your leads dashboard. It takes 2 seconds, and it's a very easy way to remind people that you're in real estate, which is, we know after listening to Moxie presentations and talk about Engage, you need those people who already know, like, and trust you to just be reminded that you're a real estate agent, so that they know to call you. So share that. When I put it online, I would just say, like, what a great tool to see what your home is worth, no strings attached, and have people click on that and just check it out. So no reason why you can't do that today.
All right, so that's the whole home valuation side and just following up with those leads. But another great way to get leads is through sharing your buyers, which sounds crazy, but your buyer's actual information isn't getting posted out there. But what they are looking for is, so if I have this buyer here, and this is one of my verified buyers, but I'm still just gonna go in and kind of go over their profile to make sure that everything is up to date. So when I click on it right here, I can see the basic information that I have set up for my buyer. If maybe they change the target price, I can just quickly edit that right here and save it. But we're gonna actually go all into this profile and just click edit profile. Again, if you don't know about verifying a buyer and buyer strength, we do have these 4 stars right here, which if you hover over will tell you what they are. So we have, this buyer is represented by an agent. That's usually going to be there because they're represented by you if they got brought into the system because you're working with them. The buyer has no contingencies. This buyer is pre-qualified, and this buyer is not ready to move within 90 days because I put that they want to purchase by February 20th. So if they were ready to move within 90 days, that would also be a star, and they would be a 4-star, strong, serious buyer. So if I do edit profile, we can kind of just go down and you can pick out the school districts, or you can do it by zip codes. We have both available just because a lot of families like to go by school district. That's what's really important to them. But we also have the zip codes in the cities. You can put in the beds, the baths, and put in just minimum stuff of what they're looking for right here. You can also choose the property type. You'll notice that the bolded right here have an asterisk. Those are required fields that need to be filled out because that's the bare minimum information about if someone's looking to buy a home. But they can also put in some property condition, turnkey, or maybe they really want a fixer-upper. We can choose that. We can choose multiple. House style, they also can choose that if they want, if you know what they want. And you can even make some public comments that other agents can see, where with the turnkey, all they want to do is repaint. They don't want any other projects when they move into this house. Then you go down, you can even show musts, likes, and dislikes. Again, none of these have to be filled out, but if central air is a must, they can put that. Maybe they just like a fireplace, like it's something that they like, but it's not a must have.
Donna has a good question about this page. If any of this is pulling from Real Scout, this will not actually. So if their preferences in Real Scout, they don't actually get pulled. The location and the price should, but that's really about it. So really what the significance behind this is for those of you, what Natalie's showing you, you want to do this because you can then share this profile on social media to get listings. So if you just put a buyer out there that says, I have a buyer that's looking for a house between 150 and 200 in Cleveland Heights, well, I mean, that's not, you might get some people that say, oh, I'm thinking about listing, but the more you fill out on this profile, if you say, oh, they want a turnkey, or they're okay with a fixer upper and they want a fenced in yard, this can show up on your social media, and then you post it and you're like, inventory's low, I have a buyer that wants all of this. In theory, someone in your sphere is going to see this and say, oh my gosh, my house is probably between 150 and 200,000. I have a fenced yard, and mine's a fixer upper or whatever it may be. And then the idea is they're going to reach out to you to list that house. So even if let's just, so Donna, you do have to do some work in this to answer your question. You do have to, it's not going to pull it. But the best part about this is, even if this buyer already found a house, let's say you had a buyer that was looking for a $700,000 home and they found it, they put their search on hold, they're still in here. What a great way to get those really high-end listings. You can share that buyer and say, I have a buyer that's looking for this type of property. Let me know if you think you have something. Some people might say, well, I was waiting to redo the bath, or, I wanted to paint. Maybe they don't need to do all that. And you're using this, you're kind of exploiting this quote buyer to get those higher end listings. So you want to come in and fill out as much as you can about the buyer before you share that, so that you're really kind of teasing the potential seller. Michael, we'll get to that at the end. That this is not, Natalie, you see the question about the heat map? Okay. Sorry, Natalie, I just wanted to, I just took my, and ran with it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm getting there, Donna. I was just going through and showing just, how to check your before you share any of your buyers. You want to make sure that their profile is up to date. And then as soon as I'm done with that, I'm going to show you how to share. And again, just to reiterate what Kate said, the buyer themselves will be pulled in from Real Scout, but all of, these preferences, not all of them will, just because Real Scout and Buyside have the different preferences and they don't talk to each other, just the basics. So that's why before you share any buyer on social media, you want to make sure that their information is up to date. And so as we're going down, again, only put in what you do know for sure. And we're really just making sure that all what's required is showing. Anything extra is just a plus, where you can say they want to purchase by this. You can say what type of buyer they are, what type of payment. And then even if they want to get coming soon listing alerts, you could put in just alert me about this, and then I can, pass this along to my buyer. But basically, once I've gone through here, I've made sure everything is still accurate, because as we all know, what buyers want does change during their search. And so once we make sure this is still all up to date, we can update the buyer. And again, it's going to be right over here, or I can even look at what their public profile would look like. And then I'm sharing. And again, this is, all the information they actually get about the client. So then it's going to do the information. Again, it's going to say, contact you as the agent if you're, more curious about this. Contact you as the agent for a more full profile about this buyer. So again, no one is going to be reaching out to your buyer because you're sharing this, but they could just be interested, as Kate was saying, getting the leads from that, getting people to realize, oh, wow, people actually are searching for homes just like mine. Maybe it would be easier to sell than I thought. Or, just the comfort of knowing that there are people out there that would want their home. But also, again, it just shows, on top of all that, it just shows you're still out there, you're still active, you're still serving people, you have awesome tools. But then over here, I can just click Facebook or, my other social media here. And that's just how I would share it. Looking to sell, we have buyers. I have a home buyer looking for this. And so this is just, that's how easy it is. If you're in a buyer, if their information is up to date, then you are simply just sharing on social media. So you click into your buyer and then you can just click here for that. And again, you can even double check that public profile if you're not sure.
We did have a couple quick questions I wanted to bring up. If no one saw this one, Tony has a really great question about how that search criteria is used. Like if you put fixer upper and that MLS doesn't have it. So keep in mind, you're not filling out any of this buyer data for an MLS search to share on any other. You're not sharing this for any purpose other than trying to get a listing from sharing it on social media. So everything that you're filling in for that buyer, you're only doing through Buyside to then share elsewhere. It's not going to change the search criteria. It doesn't limit things. It doesn't read from the MLS. It's not sent or communicating with Real Scout. It is purely just for this portion right here. And what I was going to mention to Natalie is when you click on the public profile, what you could do if you like the idea of like almost making a screenshot of it, like you could, because it is kind of cool to see this buyer ID option. You fill out a lot of this stuff. You can actually just do like a screenshot and take a picture of just like part of that profile and share that and say, okay, I have a buyer. Here's the price range, looking in this area, like contact me if you're thinking about selling, like, we could get this done very seamlessly. It's a great way to try to get a listing if you already have the buyer, especially in this age of COVID, if you're nervous about that. So another obviously great way to get listings and again, to stay in touch with your sphere.
Yeah, I mean, because how many people post, about that they have listings? So it's just a great way to take that on the other side of it and to also, say that you have buyers out there.
Did you answer the question about the heat map?
No, I did not.
So, Michael, the heat map is actually going to be, it's the only part of Buyside that's going to pull public data from aggregators like Zillow and Trulia and Realtor.com. What it's doing is it's actually clicking on, it's counting how many times someone searched and clicked on a certain like property. So it's a bit inflated sometimes. So let's say I looked at a house, excuse me, I looked at a house on Realtor.com, but then I looked at that same house on Zillow.com. Even though I'm one buyer, it's going to show up as 2 clicks. And that's how they create the heat map. So the heat map is the one that's going to include all of those public aggregators. But again, the reason why it has like, 30 million clicks sometimes is because if it's a really hot market or there's a lot of inventory, the same person can be a couple of those clicks.
Yeah, it's the best they can do for that. So I think that's all the questions in chat, I believe. Are there any more questions on this?
You did, so everyone saw how you got to the buyers, right?
Yep,
Then,
right up at the top, I just clicked my buyers.
now when you click on that, you'll see that edit option next to their name. You want to edit before you share that. You don't want to just keep putting out some buyer with a price range and a location. You want to try to give more kind of clickbait for those potential sellers.
Because people are curious. So they're gonna want to know. And especially if they see, something that could match their house, then they might be curious to click more in and to see, oh wow, no, this is like they exactly want my house or something.
So does anyone have any last minute questions for Natalie regarding Buyside at all, about reaching out to your sphere or anything that you want her to show you? I'm going to put the next link, Natalie, in the chat.
All right, so that's great. And again, as you play around with it, feel free to reach out to us if you have any other questions. But just, test it out and see what, reactions you get from doing these things. See who clicks on it. It's a really great tool for just showing that you're out there, that you're active, that the market is hot for that. And so,
does anyone have a like a success story they want to at least share while we're has anyone found success in either sharing the buyer or their HBS at all? If you have, please shoot us an email. Buyside wants to hear about this. There's actually a lot of contests that they do throughout the year to get those leads. Also, you should know that the BMA is already embedded in Hannah presentations. So when you click on new, which I think is probably the biggest question I've gotten, when you're making a Hannah presentation for a seller, you have to actually click on the new Ohio, PA, Michigan, New York, where right now it goes to default. That does not have the template in there. Natalie, actually, if you're just sharing, do you just want to show where they click that so they can see it? It's a great way to try to reach out to an expired listing or for sale by owner, which is also this month's focus theme. If you talk to your manager, they've gotten some training materials on how to get more for sale by owner and expired. So right here where she just went, it's defaulted to this one that she's on, but you need to find the one that says new.
and you'll even see when you click new, and then you can click pages to double check, and it's going to say buyer heat map. And then you'll know you're in the right one as well. And then you can just continue. All right.
I think you did good. I did put the link in the chat for people. We are trying to make these quick classes. So we do have separate links for the recordings as well. You're welcome to click on the link in the chat to join us for Reaching Your Sphere using Engage. Or you can check the recording after. It will be on our YouTube channel, but there will be a different link for that one. It starts at 10:45, so go grab your coffee, stretch, and hopefully come back and join us. All right, bye everyone.